We have a Roman Reigns WrestleMania 40 opponent update. A SmackDown star is pushing for a huge gimmick match, and a title match has been added to the Crown Jewel premium live event. Find out which title and what match soon. We have a large dog in the WWE. That large dog is called Roman Reigns. He's also a tribal chief on Sundays. He's a fantastic man with lovely hair, and he's going to be doing some things in the build-up to WrestleMania and presumably at WrestleMania next year, Fraser.
You would assume so. There's been a lot of talk about who he's actually going to face at WrestleMania. I think a lot of people want it to be Cody Rhodes. A lot of people think LA Knight could be an option as well. And then, of course, there's the factor of The Rock.
Is there? Because Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated say while there's many possible opponents for Roman Reigns for that ooh-woo at WrestleMania 40, The Rock is not in the running. What's he been saying there, Fraser?
And he said, after speaking with multiple sources close to WWE, the decision about WrestleMania will not be The Rock's to make, nor is the main event even a topic of substance. There are currently no plans for this to happen. Even if it were offered, it would not be certainty that Johnson would even accept. He has multiple obligations, and if he is part of a movie that is filming, he simply would not be able to take that risk of wrestling.
Or he's a big scaredy cat. He doesn't want to take on the tribal chief.
Exactly, he's a coward. Yes. That's what The Rock is.
Yes,
well-known coward. Sports Illustrated also say Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and LA Knight are in the mix to be possible candidates to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but despite that, they add, unless the situation changes dramatically, Rhodes will be headlining WrestleMania. I am very relieved to hear that.
Yeah.
It feels like if they didn't go with Rhodes, there would be a lot of backlash, especially after the result of last year's.
Yes, there would be, because we would never finish the story, would be. Every single year would be about finishing the story then we wouldn't finish the story. But then again, Triple H did say, these stories never end.
Story never ends.
It's a load of bollocks. But I do see LA Knight's name there on the list of candidates, but I do think with LA Knight hitting a blunt force trauma on Roman Reigns at a live event over the weekend there, that maybe he's being primed for even Crown Jewel or maybe Survivor Series in a title match if Roman's not involved in the big War Games bout.
Crown Jewel feels like a good spot for him, right?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe he actually hit a BFT
a shoot one. Roman hasn't stood up since.
Right, yeah. He's that powerful as LA Knight. I think we'll see LA Knight maybe move over to Raw, though, for the World Heavyweight title at some point.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. If he's in the running for a World Universal title match at WrestleMania.
Against Rollins?
I feel like he
excuse me.
Yeah, against Rollins, indeed. I think he could be. He could have a shot of going against Rollins at WrestleMania.
I think you need a heel for LA Knight at this point, not Seth Rollins.
Turn Rollins heel.
Feels like you're biting your nose off to spider face, as Michael Scott once said.
Maybe Drew will have the belt by then. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, LA Knight is bound for glory. What else is bound for glory is Impact Wrestling, that their professional wrestling company that Tom Campbell will be the UK announcer for. Whoa. Tom Campbell, mentioning his name, say his name and he will appear for live reactions for Impact Bound for Glory whenever that happens.
21st.
Do you know when it happens? The 21st.
October 21st.
Thank you very much, Fraser.
October 21st, Tom will be doing your live reactions for Impact Bound for Glory. I'm excited to see what Tom does next week at Turning Point as well. It's just a week away.
He's at Turning Point as well.
Turning Point a week on Friday.
Is that the one at the Wacker Dome?
Yeah, it's the one at the Wacker Dome.
Bloody Nora. I wouldn't mind going to that.
It's going to be
Do you reckon Joe Hendry will attack him?
Ooh.
Tom's brought him in here. Yeah. Joe Hendry's gave him the big announcement. Swerve.
Shoot. Fall away slam.
Yes, exactly. Say his name and he will appear. Anyway, a SmackDown star is pushing for a huge gimmick match because we all know Rey Mysterio is a kinky man. And Rey Mysterio would love to have a mask versus hair match against a certain current WWE superstar. And which one is that, Fraser?
He is wanting that mask versus hair match with Dominic, his son. He likes beating his son. And he wants to make him bald as well.
Go back to 2013. He was beating Dominic when he was a little boy at the Xbox. With the Xbox, he was getting the console and just whacking him on top of that. Maybe that's why Dominic's turned out the way he has these days. Just all these traumas to the head and the cranium. But he has been speaking on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, has Rey Mysterio, saying, I think there's still more to give for both of us. I would love that. I don't think we've ever seen that here. Imagine him bald. Don't imagine me without the mask.
I think this... It makes perfect sense because Dom doesn't need the mask. At one point, obviously, there was talk, should he pass on the mask to Dominic?
Prince Mysterio, I think his name was going to be.
Right,
at one point,
but Dom doesn't need it at all. He works a completely different style. It's not really lucha that would fit the whole gimmick of having a mask. Make him bald. Just shave it. Or would you have him beat Ray in his last match for a mask versus hair?
I wouldn't have it as Ray's last match, but you'd have maybe Ray's last match eventually when he puts over his own in a horrible way. But yeah, you see the mileage they got out of Kurt Angle being bald. Kurt Angle's still bald to this day. They never let him grow it back. It wasn't thinning at all, and that wasn't the reason he cut it in 2002. And we're here in 2023, and he's still not been able to have it back. But the mileage they could get out with Dominic Mysterio, especially being bald, and obviously all the little costumes he could wear. Yeah, he'd be fantastic. That moment when someone eventually goes, "Ha ha!" We saw it with CM Punk and the Big Show once upon a time as well, didn't we?
Yeah, would he willingly then wear a mask at that point just to avoid being bald? That would be good fun.
And of course he would say he's paying homage to his father by being a nice guy and wearing the mask and covering his baldy heat. It writes itself. Ronald Mysterious has been busy in the press this week. I guess, well, this is from an interview with ESPN's Mark Raimondi. What a lovely name. And he's been talking about an AEW superstar who Rey Mysterio believes needs to slow the piss dude.
And he's been about Vikingo. He said he's actually very, very good. I believe he was going through an injury at the time, and I kind of connected with him, with people to see if he could get to his knee taken care of. I said, it happened to me. A lot of people would tell me to slow down. With all due respect, I said, thank you, yes I will, and it would almost come in one year and out the other. Until you start going through injuries and surgeries, and you're not slowing down because they tell you, you're slowing down because you need to, and you can't risk your body any more than you did. Essentially saying, Vikingo's suffering the knee injuries, and we know Rey Mysterio has a problem with his knees.
It's just one of his best catchphrases, isn't it?
My knees. And he's had some incredible surgeries to keep those knees in top condition. But he gave that advice in. I pretty much gave him the advice and told him that he could still be incredible if he just toned it down or down 2 or 3 beats more. Pick the moments where you want to do your things to impact. You don't have to do it every night because they already know who you are. I hope he takes the advice and doesn't have to suffer what I did, which is learn the hard way. He did really suffer the hard way, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And if you're going to listen to one person in the R5 Vikingo who does wrestle a similar style, some would say, tish, a gear or two up than whatever Rey Mysterio has ever done. That's how quick Vikingo is. But if you are going to listen to someone, it would be Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, especially considering, as we mentioned, he's had so many knee injuries. He was wearing knee braces for so long, and now he doesn't bother when he's much older now, and he's working at a faster rate than he was, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, and he might be sitting there thinking, he hasn't tapered his style as all as Rey Mysterio, but he has. You look at the West Coast Pop when he used to do the Hurricane Run at the end of it. He had to stop doing that because of his knees and the impact that would have. And also he injured someone with the knee brace he had to wear because of his sore knee. So.
Yeah, right, Undertaker. That was fun.
Yes, it was fun. What else is fun is Jack the Jobber's Match of the Month podcast, which goes live on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast feed later today.
Go and check it out.
Yes, go and check it out. And we also have news now to end this news video 2 of the day. Please go and watch news video 1, which went out earlier on today, of news of a title match being added to Crown Jewel. Which title is it, Fraser?
It's the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley's title. She'll be defending that at Crown Jewel against Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Nia Jax, and Raquel Rodriguez. It's going to be a big match. Rhea's got to win this, right?
You'd think so.
Right,
There's nobody... there is one person sticking out there who could win. But I think if they're going to do that, I think they'd save that for a one-on-one matchup. Because that's the way Nia Jax has been presented thus far, since she has returned as Rhea Ripley's equal in terms of chutzpah and kavorka and strength.
I am worried, though, that Nia Jax will win the belt.
Yeah.
I really don't want that. Later in the night, obviously this was revealed by Adam Pearce that Ripley would have to defend it in a 5-way match. This came after there was some involvement in the match between Rhea and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, just all the lasses Fraser mentioned there came down. Bit of a brawl, everyone involved. Zoe Stark got in the ring, hoofed Rhea Ripley, I think it was, and then that caused the disqualification. And then we find ourselves here with a 5-way match at Crown Jewel, adding to the card, which only at the time of us sat here has Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the world title on there as well.
I had a really great promo last night where Drew was talking about how in the pandemic he was the one that stepped up, and he was like, how are you going to find a way to reinvent yourself for the 53rd time after I beat you?
Oh my God.
I think Drew should take the belt off of Seth at Crown Jewel.
He's Batman.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's a justified arse at the moment.
He is, and it's nice to have a Drew McIntyre that's not just wielding a massissive sword.
Yeah, or being a historian.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, there's that lad with the crabs in the cave. Oh,
yeah, or teaming with Matt Riddle. Don't want that.
No, we don't.
I'm glad this Drew's here.
Yes, but also McGriddles are lovely. Right, we'll end the video there. How are you doing, Fraser?
I'm doing great, Ross. How are you?
I don't know what to do. We'll see you later. Check the channel for content tonight. I don't know what's coming, but something will be, so you better watch out.